everybody, this is City Scrapper. Thank you so much for joining me on my channel today. Today I have a scrapbook layout process video for you, and I use a cut file for this layout. The cut file that I use is a Paige Evans cut file. I got it in the Silhouette shop. It is called Bat Wreath, and I will put the item ID in the description box if you're interested in getting this cut file. I already backed the cut file. I used scraps from my Halloween stash and just spread out the colors, didn't put too much of any one color in one spot. And now I'm using watercolor sprays. That's a piece of 120-pound white smooth cardstock. And if you're not really familiar with what 120-pound means, it's a heavyweight cardstock. It's definitely the most heavyweight one that I have ever used, and it does help with the warping of paper when you put the mixed media on it. So I'm using some watercolor sprays. I've been using these a lot lately. These are Prima Color Bloom 2 sprays, and I'm using 4 different colors. The orange is called Pot Marigold. The lighter green is called Brimstone Wings. The darker green is called Oregano Leaves. And I'm going to be putting purple down, and that is Sugar Plum. And I think that these are just great colors for Halloween in general. They're really just your typical standard Halloween colors, but the Prima sprays are super intense and they're really glimmery. If that's a word, glimmery. They glimmer a lot, and there's definitely a lot of mica in there, and they're very shiny, and I think that's perfect for a Halloween layout. So you see I'm using the packaging technique to spread out the color, just like with the cut file. I'm putting a little here and a little there, not putting too much in any one area. And looking at this background, now that I'm watching the footage of it, the background, anybody could do this. I feel like it just looks like a big mess, and this one in particular, there's really nothing special about it. It just looks great though when you put the cut file back on top of it. I've heard other scrapbookers say that, but I feel like in this layout it really stands out. The fact that it's a very, very simple mixed media background, but when it's combined with the cut file, I think that it brings out the best in it. Now I am splattering some of those watercolor sprays around. I do hold the little straw that's inside the spray. I do hold it over the same color. So for example, if I am splattering orange, I will start by holding it over the orange spots on the background. But of course the splatters move around and they go other places, and I know that's going to happen, but that's my thinking behind it. I do start by putting the splatters in the spot where there's the same color. So you just saw I added some watered down white acrylic paint to the background, and that helps to just, bring everything together. And a nice touch. I added to almost all of my mixed media backgrounds, and then I added some black splatters as well, and that'll help kind of tie together the black in the cut file and the dark areas of the photo with the background. I backed that cut file, like I said, with some scrap pieces of paper, and then I put some fun foam behind each of the bats, and that took a little bit of time. And then I just put down some ATG adhesive on the back of the foam. And now I'm going back in with, this is metallic Lustre made by Deco Art, and it has like a waxy kind of consistency. I think, what is this? This is called White Frost, the color that I'm using right now. And I just wanted to, add a little variation to the bats so that the black paper wasn't so solid black. Now I'm using some more scraps, and I'm creating some mats for the photo. I am going to mat this particular photo a couple of times using the green and the purple, and I am just dressing the edges with my scissors. it's fairly recently that I realized or learned that you could use your scissors to distress paper. I was always using my distress tool, and since I saw another scrapbooker roughing up the edges with her scissors, I thought that is very handy. It does tend to make the paper more distressed than if you use a distress tool, but that's what I was looking for. So I used my scissors to distress these papers. And I wanted to get a little of each of the colors, the green, the purple, and the orange behind the photo. So I found this piece of paper, and this finishes off the 3 different colors. And I apologize if I am repeating myself and I don't say the same thing I said in other videos, but this is a photo that I took in Salem, Massachusetts of my daughters with some of the characters that they have on the main street there. And we go there every year, and so I have tons and tons of photos. I stopped buying Halloween scrapbooking stuff for a while because I didn't really have a need for it. My kids were getting older, not really getting dressed up so much anymore. And then I guess it's about 5 years ago now, we started going to Salem. And so now I'm back to buying and breaking out my Halloween stash. For the title, I'm using this little piece of wood that says haunted. And instead of painting it with acrylic paints, I thought I would try to make a little ombre using some watercolor sprays. So I just put a lot more paint on the bottom than on the top and just tried to make it gradually get darker as it went down. I put that aside to dry, and now I'm adding some of those Tim Holtz word phrases. They're chipboard. Added those few of those around the wreath, and I just recently bought this Martha Stewart punch, and it's a cute little spiderweb corner. And I love photo corners, and I love Halloween, so I picked that up on eBay. Now I'm thinking about adding a little something to the white area around the wreath, and I had these doilies. There's some different sizes spiderweb doilies that I had in my stash, and I was thinking that this might be the right touch for the background. So I'm just deciding where they should go and gluing them down. And I like to use Elmer's gel glue because when it dries, you don't see anything. You don't see, it just dries totally clear. So gluing those down, and I thought maybe I wanted to double up on the bottom just to have one area that would look a little bit different, but then I decided I was just going to put that single spider web down. So now I'm just going back in with my ATG adhesive and attaching down the Tim Holtz chipboard. And this is a very busy layout, so I really didn't add too much to the wreath as far as additional embellishments. I'm also using that ATG tape to attach down those little spider webs in the corners, and I'm gluing down the haunted with my glue. As you could see there, it had already broken into 2 pieces before I even bought it, but it just fits right back together. And I don't think you could ever tell that it was in 2 pieces. Now I'm just clipping off the excess of those spider webs. And those spider webs, I will tell you, I like them. I like them there. I'm glad that there was something else added to the page other than just the wreath. But I think that they're too dark. I think that they compete with the bat wreath. And actually, as I was preparing the footage to voice over, I took the layout and went back and I filmed a little bit more, and I added some of the same metallic luster that I put on the wreath just to kind of make them go into the background a little bit. I felt like they were competing too much being such a dark black. There I was putting down some pearls instead of using enamel dots. I've been using pearls lately, and I just kind of like the way they look with the Halloween layouts because I don't know what it is. They're shiny. I have a lot of them. I have them in a lot of different sizes, and I like the way they look with Halloween. So I've been pulling out those a lot lately. I also love the pearls with Christmas layouts. So I'm putting them on in green and purple right now. And I already have some orange ones that I put down when I was chatting before. So just sprinkling those around the page and just adding something that won't add, too much, not another embellishment, but just something that will add a little bit more texture and dimension to the page. And it looks like I decided that I wanted to add those little spider webs in all 4 corners, or I guess 3 of the 4 corners. And now here I am. Like I said, I went back in there and I just put a little bit of this white frost Deco Deco Art metallic luster on there, just to make those spider webs fall into the background a little bit. And that is my layout, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. I hope if you like this video, you'll give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. I want to thank all my current subscribers, and I hope everybody has a fantastic day. I'll be back with another process video again very soon, so I will see you again. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.